There's no other way than learning a language than actually experiencing and going to a place where that's the language.
If you have a choice to choose something that you're really comfortable with and something that you're less comfortable with, you're obviously going to choose the one that you're more comfortable with.
Of course.
Diary Talks
With Micol
and Andreas.
Today, I want to talk about welcome!
That's my part.
Okay.
Welcome back to another episode of Diary Talks, episode 5.
My name is Micol.
My name is Andreas, and today you are being interviewed. How do you feel?
I feel a bit of pressure.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Well, today's
You
topic...
should calm me down.
Sorry?
Okay, I'm kidding.
Come on down, Micol Bach. You've been selected for a Diary Talks episode number 5.
Woo!
Applause. Hi.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. Are you happy with yourself?
Yes, currently.
This is actually kind of weird. Talking to her, interviewing her, because usually we're a team, right?
Yes.
So today's topic is something that I actually found super interesting. When I met you, I was actually really jealous that you had this skill, but also a talent. I would say it's both. And
Compliments.
no, but it's actually really cool. And today we're talking about people who speak multiple languages, or what they call as multilingual. As you know, bilingual speaking 2 languages, trilingual speaking 3 languages, and multilingual is speaking more than 3.
Wow.
Multiple languages. There's some interesting facts actually that I found. So the term polyglot is someone who is proficient in more than 5 languages. Can you imagine? And then a hyper polyglot is someone who is proficient in more than 12 languages.
Yeah, no.
Can you, like, that must be amazing.
That's incredible. We should look for the person who is.
And then actually you are part of 3% of the world, as only 3% of the world can speak over 4 languages.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel
So since
special.
you can speak 4.5 languages, you're part of 3% of the world. So high five.
Woo!
Okay.
Hey, that feels great.
But it's especially cool for
Something
me.
Different.
For sure. It's especially cool for me because, growing up in the US, not a lot of people can speak more than English. Which is kind of sad. I've actually had this argument with someone who's like, why do I need to speak other than English if English is like the international language?
I've had a lot of people actually saying that.
And, it's okay, you can have that. I feel like you're kind of ignorant if you say that. But also it's just curiosity. Like the way different languages work, the way they are put together is so different in certain languages. Like it's just, for me it's interesting, and to be able to go to a country and communicate with that person over there, like it wows them, because it's like, okay, you're trying to communicate in my natural language, I appreciate you. Like there's this video circulating around about some white guy who goes around in like Asian countries and speaks fluent Mandarin. And everyone is so like impressed, and so
I wish I could speak actually an Asian language.
And then another fact, which I was really not surprised about, is that according to the US Census Bureau, only 22% of Americans can converse in 2 or more languages.
Only what?
22%. Which is really low.
It's pretty low.
So let's get this started. Obviously this is sort of a different podcast, as I will be asking you the questions. So, as many people have figured out, we'll be speaking about multiple languages. Which are the languages that you know that you can speak?
Yes. So I was born in Italy, so I obviously speak Italian. Italian is my mother tongue, and I have a German father, so I also speak German since I was very young. Then, I'm speaking English. So,
So English.
I always studied in English schools and
We'll get to that
university as
after.
well. So English, then Spanish. I had a Peruvian nanny, and I studied it in school as well. And my half language is French, which I started in Switzerland, where I was for university.
Now, would you say you are fluent in, okay, except from French, you are fluent in all of those languages? That's including writing, speaking, and understanding?
No, I'm fluent in Italian, Spanish, and English.
Okay.
German, I understand everything. I can read everything. I can't really write. That's because I never really studied German, and nobody ever taught me how. So
Right.
I can read. It takes me like I remember when I was reading a book fully in German. Like the first pages, it took me a while. Like German words are super
They're really,
long.
really long.
They're so long, so you're like, and you end the page.
That's exactly how it sounds.
No, it doesn't. But they're really long, so I need to get into that, and that's probably the language I speak the least together with French, especially now. But
True, I hope I don't lose my
I do
French.
understand everything. I do communicate. They do understand. Professionally, it's a bit hard.
Right. Okay.
And French, no. I mean, French, I understand everything. I can make myself understandable to others. And writing, I know the basics, but again, I studied it in school, but yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't really
So,
immediate.
so let's just start off the bat. Can you say this sentence in all of those languages, please? Hello, my name is Micol Bach, and I am happy to be here.
Why did you go this way?
Because I'm gonna point at them.
Ah. So, hello, my name is Micol Bach, and I'm happy to be here. Language number 1. Ciao, mi chiamo Micol Bach e sono molto contenta di stare qua. Language number 2.
3.
I said English and Italian right
That
now.
was number 2.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then, hola, me llamo Micol Bach y estoy muy contenta de estar aquí.
You see how she changes her pitch when she speaks different languages.
Yes,
You
of
speak
course.
Spanish like hola. And then Italian it's like ciao. Let's keep going.
And in German, hallo, ich heiße Micol Bach und ich bin sehr froh, dass ich hier bin heute. And then,
Ja.
and then we have
Wunderbar.
French. Salut, je m'appelle Micol Bach et je suis très content d'être ici aujourd'hui.
Nice.
Oui,
Nice.
merci.
So, as you said, you learned these languages, obviously Italian and German first, probably. But out of all 5 languages, which one was the hardest to learn, if you remember? Because Italian you probably picked it up like that.
Yeah, I would say French,
Okay.
not because of the language itself. I mean, it's debatable from one point of view. French is the only language I really had to study to know, because all the other languages I grew up with them. I was very lucky for that.
Yeah.
So when you're like young and you're a baby and you just hear languages, I was spoken to in 4 different
Yeah,
languages.
that's amazing. Like I wish I had that.
So that I had my dad who could not speak Italian at the time. He would just speak German to me. My mom would speak Italian. Then I had my nanny since I was like 2 weeks old, and she would speak to me in Spanish. And then since I was like 3 years old, I went to an English school.
Okay.
So all those languages just were put together in my brain, and I never really had to like actually study them in order to know and understand them. So
But that's also kind of the reason why you can't write in some of those languages.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. I mean, because I never studied them, German especially. French instead, I never spoke French before. I never was exposed to French before. Before actually I was 18, because that's when I went to university. So in university and uni, obviously knowing other languages, other 4 languages
helped.
beforehand, it really helped.
Especially
So-
Italian.
Especially, yes, Italian. Like, so the first semester, I did not understand anything, but I had a team, my team of work, which spoke mostly French together. So, which was seen as a disadvantage, obviously, for many, and that was kind of a down thing of the team. But at the same time, it really forced me to start
Which is
understanding French. To the point that actually the next year, when I was put in French class, I was put at a level B1,
Okay.
B1, which is already like a level where
It's like intermediate.
where you understand it's already intermediate, which I didn't though. And I mean, I understood, I kind of spoke a little, but then like I did not have the basis of like all the writing. I still don't know sometimes how to pronounce certain letters
But that's
in
fine.
the alphabet.
It's your fifth language. So.
You know, so yeah, but I don't have like the basic accent aspect. I never studied it to the point of knowing that, but then I had to write email letters and I had to do presentations in French, and I could do that. So there's a bit of discrepancy in that, and in German as well. I remember, can I say this? I went with Lucrezia. Hi Lucrezia, if you're listening. We went to Berlin for 3 weeks to do a German course, and I was like, okay, sure. And so the first thing is like they test you to put you in the level. So I had a written test, which I absolutely failed because I had no clue on how to write things. They were like, put the verb in past something, and I was like, yes, sure.
I actually have a funny
So
story
I
about
would
that as
just
well.
write down something that sounded, for me, German is all about sound, how it sounds correct. That's how I learned German. So I just wrote it down how it sounded correct, but then sometimes it was right, and other times it wasn't. So then I had the oral interview kind of to understand
And you
my
did
ability.
really well.
And I did really well, so I was put in C2 level,
Oof,
you know, which is the top level. But then my writing skills were like, did you do this exam? I'm like, yes. And they're like, how? I'm like, I never studied it. I have no clue what I was doing. Like, I had no clue how it was written.
Nice.
And the down part of that is that C2 level is probably, most of the people are just there to speak, because that's the hardest part for people. Instead, for me, that's the easiest part in any language. So I think it's really interesting to see the differences.
Yeah, it's actually funny because like in school we had like these language tests to determine your ability, and I remember I was like, let me just take a German one just for fun, you know, and I forgot that I had Google automatically translates the pages that I have, you know.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I was doing the German test and I was like, wow, this is really easy, you know? This was really freaking easy. And I got...
Was it in English?
No, like the sentences, like, it was like, finish the sentence. And it gave you like a German sentence and then the English sentence and then like which word fits the best.
Okay.
You know? And so I got like placed C1 and I was like, I know German, and then it was all translated. But I think and also my brother tried to take German, and it was really really hard because there's he, she, it.
Yeah, no, German
so it's
is
very
really
very complicated. But now your dad speaks Italian.
Yeah.
But do you still talk to him in German or in Italian?
I try to speak with him in German. For me, it's kind of weird when he speaks Italian to me. I don't really like it. In general, I don't like accents, which is weird. So I always try to like avoid having an accent myself. That's why actually sometimes, even though I don't speak French, for example, I go out and I was with a friend who was not French but spoke much better French than me, and Julia at the time. And anyways, they were like, oh, you're Italian, to the other girl. And they were like, oh, where are you from? And said, you're from here? I'm like, no. And I just said like, maybe hi, how are you?
Yeah.
And they thought I was like from there.
Nice.
That's just because I kind of try to replicate the accent.
Yeah.
And also the same in Spanish. Like I went to Mexico and I had the Spanish accent before, and then when I was there, I just tried to adopt as much as possible the Mexican accent. So now I kind of have a mix of them.
Okay.
Which is a mix. This said, to answer your question, I do try to speak German with my dad. But sometimes for him now, because of his work and like he speaks more Italian than German as well, it comes out easier in Italian for him sometimes. I mean, he just has a really funny accent. But so it's a bit of a mix. Although I really try to push that German part because first I love it, and I know I don't practice it enough. So I really don't want to kind of forget it.
Are you more comfortable? What's the language that you feel the most comfortable speaking? English?
Italian and English, depending on the context. I mean, Italian, it's obviously my mother tongue. That's the language I grew up. My friends, I speak in Italian. But on a work perspective, definitely English.
Okay.
Like definitely English presentation-wise and everything. It's much more fluent. I was trained in English. So writing-wise, I just have that methodology that is English.
Okay.
But Italian for some jokes and stuff like that, sometimes it's probably Italian. It's a bit of a mix.
If you could replace one language with another, same proficiency, same skills, same everything, same knowledge, same abilities, would you replace a language with another language? And if so, which one would you do?
Same proficiency in the sense of like
if you replace the language with, if you replace French, you would only have like
the level of French?
zero, like that 50%.
Okay. French.
What?
Yes.
Even if I speak French?
Sorry, but I would definitely have. I mean, I can debate French or German, but German I have family. I don't have any except you. But you speak English, babe. We speak English all the time. So I don't have anyone that I relate to that does not speak another language. Instead, my grandma just speaks German. So I can't talk to her in any other language. So obviously, I would replace French, and I would totally replace it for Mandarin.
Yeah?
Yeah. Asian language, 100%.
That's awesome.
Because, I mean, if I get the knowledge of understanding what they're saying and making myself understandable, might it be like a 5-year-old, but still, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like, I speak only English and French. Mom, I blame it on you, because she speaks as well Swedish, because I'm actually half Swiss, half Swedish. But everyone's like, oh, how are you half Swedish, but you don't speak Swedish? As you said before, you know, like, you learn languages better when you're younger, and she never spoke to me in Swedish. But if I did know Swedish, I would probably also trade that for either Mandarin or Arabic.
Yeah, I think there's...
Although Swedish is a really cool language. I love hearing it, you know.
I mean, I like every language. Honestly, I just love knowing languages, because I'm 3% of the population in the world.
No. Oh, now she's gonna...
I'm gonna brag about that. No, and also it's just cool to go around and feel comfortable in not in any place you go, but in most of the places you go. Like if I take Europe, and if I take like the States and America in general, except I don't know Portuguese, but I can figure that out somehow with Spanish and Italian. Like I feel comfortable going around.
Which is nice.
So
especially being in here in Miami, where
it's bilingual.
Half.
It is.
Most people speak Spanish than English.
In the sense, yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a nice thing to go around and be able to converse with a lot of people. You know, like if you go to some place and they don't speak English, then mostly Americans will be like, I can't understand, and then like they might even get upset.
Yeah.
You know, like, but also like I think the thing is like if you're in a country that speaks a certain language, at least make an effort. You know, even the people that come to America, you know, like if you don't make an effort to speak English, then you shouldn't be mad if Americans go to your country and demand to speak English. You know, like just don't be a hypocrite. Just try your best to learn that country's language, as they say, when in Rome. You know, do as the Romans do.
So when we go to China, we learn
we'll try. I mean, we'll try to be like, hello, thank you, just like the basic words, you know, like xie xie, and like I remember when I was in Korea, I learned how to say hello, goodbye, thank you, and now I can't even remember. I think it's like not damn, I'm like kind of mind blank, but it's like 감사합니다 is something.
Great.
I think
useful, guys. 감사합니다.
I don't know what it means.
Maybe it means I don't want to.
No, it's actually and. That's just, yeah. I mean, it's, when I was there, I knew it. Now, I mean, since I don't use it and I don't practice it, of course, it escaped.
So now, may I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Why are you wearing that ridiculous hat of yours?
Does this have anything to do with the podcast?
No,
No.
but I'm sure
So-
they're wondering. as
So
well.
it doesn't matter. I was feeling comfortable today in my sweats and my sweater, and I desperately need a haircut. So I covered my hair.
Very
There's your answer. Are you ready for a quiz? Actually, there's
We
a
have a
quiz.
quiz?
There's a quiz.
Oh my, oh my. Yes.
How old are you? Oh my darling.
Hey, I like to say things.
Can you please not look at my
I
computer?
can't see anyways. I don't.
You pinky
I
promise?
think you promised.
Okay. So, this guy named Ziad Youssef Fazah
Uh-huh.
held the Guinness World Record for being able to speak, read, and understand the most amount of languages. It was only listed up to 1998 edition, and then I couldn't find anything else relating to this.
What?
How many languages did he claim he knew?
Did he claim?
Yes.
But it's not real?
I mean, it was in the Guinness World Records from 1991 to 1996, and then 1997, 98, something happened. But since this was
Okay.
the only thing,
It's
how many languages did he know, basically? Was it A, 48, B, 59? Actually, wait, was it A, 48, B, 59,
59.
59, C, 64
Yes.
in Spanish?
Oh, 64.
64, or D, 81? I don't know German.
So wait,
81.
81.
Yes. So, A, 48, B, 59, C, 64, or D, 81?
I mean, already 49 is a lot of languages, which is just crazy. But I kind of feel it's 49 because it's the lowest one. So 49, 58, 60,
48, 59, 64,
48,
81.
59.
64, 81. 3, 2, 1.
59.
Nice! I would list all the languages, but it would take a really long time.
How do you know 59 languages?
I mean,
59?
after that, there was like a bunch of debates on whether he actually knew how to write, read, and speak and understand
Oh, you can speak English.
59 languages, but I read them all and they're wow. Some of them I don't even know how to pronounce the languages.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think, like, I'd love to know 10 languages.
I'd love to be a hyper polyglot, which
Yeah,
is
like
12 or
12.
more, you know?
But that's, like, crazy.
But it's a lot. Getting back to the podcast, as we have mentioned, there are many benefits to speaking more than one language.
Mm-hmm.
There, obviously, in your case, 4.5. But what is the main benefit of being multilingual? Other than, as you mentioned, other than being able to communicate with more than just one type of person.
I think knowing the language, it enables you to actually get into the culture of that country in an easier way, so you really understand how they network, how they communicate, in the not only like language wise, but in everything. You understand much more of the place you are, and being someone who loves to travel around and loves to discover new places and really immerse myself into them, like, I think language is the first thing that really helps me out in those cases. Like, I say Mexico because that's probably the wildest place in the sense where I actually lived for 6 months, and it's really a matter like knowing Spanish. I went there, I knew Spanish perfect, like I knew Spanish, but there I also improved it because I didn't use it daily. And it was just like, I went into the culture of Mexico, and when I go back, like, I feel comfortable being in Mexico.
I think that level of comfort is key, because I mean, a lot of people are nervous, you know. I know when you're first learning a language, you're nervous to speak it because, I mean, it's also the fault of the people listening because like
Yeah, they make fun
they
of
make
you.
fun of you. Hey, you make fun of me when I speak Italian, so.
No, you're so cute.
Chill.
I always tell you you're the cutest.
But when you go out into public and you go to a restaurant or you go to even a convenience store or a bar and you try to order something in that language, like you're afraid of being made fun of. But I think the most important thing is practice, and it's tough to balance. Okay, do I want to practice and make a fool out of myself, or do I want to appear confident in my own language?
I mean, truth is, like, it's up to you. But I feel that there's no other way than learning a language than actually experiencing and going to a place where that's the language. And then living maybe with a family that speaks that language and like really being there, because like kind of your instinct is hyper vigilant in a certain sense, and like you learn much faster. And sometimes it gets confused, much faster, and it's the only way. Truly, like I regret French from. I mean, I don't regret, but I do think like French. I could have like learned more from Switzerland, but already the fact that I went around and I always tried to order. I always spoke in French, despite really not being the best at it. It really helped me out to be more comfortable in it. And I say it, I anticipate, hey, my French is not good, but I'm just practicing. And then it's fine.
Say that in French?
Mon français, c'est pas incroyable, mais je dois pratiquer un peu. On dit ça? Pour apprendre plus.
No, and I think that's really.
He's not laughing now, but he normally always laughs.
Because you're so cute.
You should speak to me in French.
No, and you should speak to me in Italian.
Yeah, I say that, and you're like, no.
It's like, but I totally agree in the sense that learning a language is so much easier when you're surrounded by it, because at one point you have no choice.
Yeah.
And I think that is what causes people to step out of their comfort zone. Because if you have a choice to choose something that you're really comfortable with and something that you're less comfortable with, you're obviously going to choose the one that you're more comfortable with.
Sure.
You know, it's like doing anything in life. If you're more comfortable, like for example, speaking with my dad, you know, like he's the reason why I speak French.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, other than being born in Switzerland and learning French first, it's weird for me to speak French with him.
That's really
because we're so used to speaking English together that like sometimes I'll text him in French, but right after we'll switch to English because it's just weird.
But didn't he speak in French to you?
When?
Like when
When
you were little?
Absolutely. Up until 6, I only spoke French.
And then when you moved to America, he didn't?
Yeah. I mean, no. I moved to America when I was 2, so it was still
No. Worried?
Yes.
Ah.
But once I started school, once I got friends, and then when my parents got divorced and my stepmom didn't speak French, obviously speaking English at the house was a must, kind of, because, I mean, it wouldn't be nice if she didn't understand a lot of the things we were saying, and then it just continuously grew apart. But I mean, we still talk once in a while in French, but as I was saying before about the comfort and uncomfortable thing, it's just getting out of your comfort zone, practicing, as she said. But let's move on.
By the way, the best part of also knowing many languages is that you can say things without people understanding you. If you're
See,
in a
she's
country.
not that nice, huh?
So it's really nice, but you have to be
So
very
you have no
careful
idea
at
who
that.
she's insulting.
No, but you have to be very careful at
There was
that.
actually a really funny story about that I have. I think I told you.
I think-
We were at a restaurant and like the waiter was being a sort of a not nice person. And me and my dad, we were like, oh, look at this asshole, or he doesn't know how to do anything.
You said
whatever
that
like
in French?
I said it in French.
And who was French?
No, actually, I don't remember if it was with my dad or with someone else. But yeah, the guy understood, and that actually happened when I was a waiter too. Someone said like, oh, look at this guy, he's very slow, and we were just super busy that day. And then when he left, I was like, bien journée, like have a good day. And they looked at me, and they were like,
Yeah,
and it feels amazing.
It feels amazing.
But we were going off topic a little bit. Do you have any particular events in your life that shown you how lucky you are to have this ability?
Particular events?
Or events that where I'm sure people are surprised that you speak so many languages. Like, do you have any examples of that?
I mean, people are surprised in general when I say like that I speak that many languages. They're especially in the States or in Mexico when I was there, it was very like not normal. So it was really surprising. So in Mexico, I worked in a hotel and like I practically could speak to any guest that was there. And especially there was this time there was this German family, and I was the only one speaking German in Mexico, or at the hotel at least.
Probably in all of Mexico.
And they just wanted to communicate with me. And they were really picky. I did not like them a lot. But it was the only way. They would complain. They would just call me
Was
also
it
one
because
of my
they were
day
German?
offs. What do you mean?
Just asking the question.
No.
Okay.
And anyways, it was like it turned out to be very useful for me to be there.
Especially in hospitality, it's a great
and
skill.
to communicate, exactly. So that was like a lot. Also French at the time, which I didn't speak well at all, but at least like the family of Yves Saint Laurent came
What?
to the hotel.
What's the name of it, sorry?
Yves Saint Laurent.
Okay.
And the sister came, and she lives in Lausanne, in Ouchy. And I was the only one who, again, could speak French. At the time, it was so confusing with Spanish and French. It was such a mix. And so I was the one, like, kind of, that had to guide them around. And I remember I gave them the tour in French, which was a mix of Spanish and French put together.
But I'm sure they really appreciate it.
But they did really appreciate it. They really liked me. And then there was an Italian couple that came and they left a note on TripAdvisor because they loved how I it's just something that is nice for people to see that at least you make the effort. So definitely there. And other events, I mean, EHL was a bit different because at university we all spoke so many different languages.
Yeah, the main one was English.
You didn't really feel special if you spoke 5 languages.
I mean, you were probably one of the ones who spoke the most, if I remember.
I think, yeah, I mean, there were other people also that spoke 5. I think someone 6. But like, yeah, we weren't, but still not many.
Yeah.
But it's always nice. It's always nice. I feel comfortable and I feel like good when I'm going to a place and they don't expect that I speak that language, or if I communicate with someone, it's always like a good feeling.
Absolutely. So I think that was a really, really nice interview. I mean, we're gonna keep it a bit short this time, but we always like to end our podcasts with giving advice. Now we're not experts, but just from personal experiences, from what we have lived, do you have any advice on what you would give to people that are hesitating to start a language, or that are, let's start that are hesitating to start a language?
Okay, that are hesitating to start a language, I would just say go for it, in the sense if you really think it's something that interests you and if you're passionate about learning that language, maybe there's an intrinsic reason behind, you feel in the future you want to go live there, go for it, just do it, take courses, read a lot. I think something that really helped me, I love reading. Now I'm actually pretty bad at that, in the sense that I don't read much at all, but before I used to like eat books practically. I would read one book of 300, 400 pages in a day. Like I would literally be reading the whole time, and that really helped my language skills, and French as well. Like I read French, or in the car, listen to the radio, listen to other people speaking. It was really funny actually, I have to tell this. I was waiting in line, and I usually, when I'm in the car and I have the radio on, I repeat the words of like the radio, because I repeat like funny words or some like very French words. I repeat them to have the, I don't know, I have no clue, I don't remember. But it's for me to like improve the accent, and it just comes natural. So that's something. So when in school one day I was waiting in line and the guy said something super French of like, I don't remember what it was. Mais pas, parce que, something like that. Mais parce que je pense ici. Something really French, you know? I don't know. It wasn't this.
I'm sorry for all the French viewers.
It wasn't absolutely.
Mais bah ouais, alors.
But something like that.
Yeah.
Alors, maybe alors, I don't know. Anyways, I just said it out loud without thinking. Just it came out, and I said, "Oh, bah alors." And he turned towards me. He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Like I didn't realize because like I just instinctively repeat things even if I don't understand them to like know the accent.
Yeah.
So listen to radio, watch movies in that language.
With the subtitle in your own language, actually, that's something that.
I've never done that.
No, but I mean, how do you expect to learn a language if you don't understand what they're saying?
I don't know, but I never I hate subtitles in general.
Yeah, but I think it's good because like if you're watching, for example, Narcos, you know,
What did you learn from Narcos?
you don't want to know. But if you're watching and you read the subtitles, of course, like it's not so much to watch what's going on, it's really to match. Okay, he says this. It's to read but hear in the different language. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not used to that, but I definitely put like in
but-
French. I do put subtitles, but in French.
Okay, but yeah, that's if you know the language already. But if you're starting to know it, you need to know what they're saying for you to know what to say when you mean that word. You know?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I've never done that, but for sure that's something that can help
Yes.
as well. But just really watching movies and listening radio, and then truly just go to the place and practice.
And
Like-
just never be embarrassed. You know, like when I lost my French a bit after moving from Switzerland to the U.S. and then living here for like 17 years, and then going back to Switzerland for university. I was embarrassed and I was scared to speak French because I was like, I might make a mistake, and the Swiss people and the Parisians and the other French people are gonna make fun of me when I speak it, which they did sometimes. But it was really speaking with my roommate in French, speaking with the other people in French, and really speaking to them in French instead of English. It helped me, so that after
Real
4 years I
confident.
can be like, yeah, I'm back to basically fluent in French. So just don't be afraid. People are gonna make fun of you. People are gonna make fun of you regardless.
I mean, who cares? At least you're trying.
At least
I
you're
bet they're
trying.
not.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be afraid. Try new things. If you're going to a different country, just learn the basics. You know, hello, thank you, goodbye, may I have. You know, just so you can order. Because people don't like ignorant people. They don't, and like especially when you're ordering something and you and the person that's maybe
It's not ignorant. It's just being effortless in the sense of like
yeah.
not trying. To try, it's always something nice. To be nice to someone, and this is just a demonstration of being nice.
And I think that is a great way to end it.
Yes, but there's just one last thing also for the parents that I wanted to give advice. Like, I was lucky to
Directed to my mom.
not necessarily, but I was truly lucky to have this upbringing, and it's not only luck, it was also like my mom and my dad wanted me to be like this, so they forced themselves to speak the different languages in the house. There were many others that were like, oh no, poor girl, she's gonna get confused, you speak 4 languages at the same time, what is going on? Like, so like a lot of, and I did mix sometimes. Like I had some trouble, but then you put it together and you know, and it works, and it's so easy when you're little. So please, parents out there, if you know another language, just really try to speak to your kid with it. Like put all movies in English, like despite, even if you don't know English, put those movies in English, because the kid is gonna learn.
Yeah.
And just try to bring that multiculturality, because when you're young, it's the easiest.
And you're basically investing in your kid's future.
Yes.
So just think about that.
Without paying anything.
Absolutely.
It's just you being yourself.
Well, I think that's a wrap. We tried to make it shorter, but you talk a lot.
And you talk as well, the beginning.
So this will be just slightly shorter.
Slightly.
Why do you always copy what I
It's so
say?
funny.
Thank you, Micol.
And you know why I copied. That's why.
Yes. Thank you, Micol, for being here.
Thank you, Andreas, for having me here. Actually, this is our podcast.
No, but this was really interesting, and I think you can inspire a lot of people to not be afraid to learn a new language. You know, I want to learn a new language. I want to, at one point, learn
Spanish.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to learn Spanish or Italian, but let's put that away. You'll see soon if I learn a new language. But thank you guys, as usual, for listening. We are now available on Spotify,
iTunes,
Apple, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of others. So if you don't feel like looking at my ridiculous hat, you can listen to us on those platforms. But I just want to say thank you so much.
And we hope you liked it. We hope you like us. We hope you like the topics. Please give us suggestions down below in the comments. Please give us a thumbs up.
So, thank
we
you.
really appreciate that. And subscribe.
Thank you. Merci. Grazie.
Dankeschön.
I'm doing it.
Oh, sorry.
Dankeschön. Gracias. So, and then I want to say goodbye in all 5 languages.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Adios. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Tschüss.
Cheers.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this, well, check that one out.
And if you like us, subscribe to our channel to see more videos and to keep posting.
Absolutely.